Hello everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today we have a historical rules event for you. Our first round is going to be the Alexander Farm, followed up by our second map, which is going to be the Limestone Bridge on Conquest. With that all being said, before we get into our fight, thank you to our Patreon members for the support. If you'd like to support, go to the link in the description where you get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise the regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Our regiments today: on the CSA side, you have the Army of Northern Virginia, Texas Guards, the Kentucky Orphans, 13th Georgia, 6th Alabama, 88th New York, 2 Corps, Jenkins Brigade, 23rd Ohio, and the 1st United States Sharpshooters. Whereas on the Union side, we have the Lee's French Legion, 11th Mississippi, 6th New York, 20th Georgia, Hampton's Legion, 2nd United States Cavalry, Hood's Division, and the 51st New York. 51st New York did balance over to the CSA side, so appreciative with that. Server pop right now is 270. In balance is 3 towards the Union side. Artillery-wise, Confederates have 4. Union has none. So that in balance is about 7 or so in Union's favor. Anyways, frontline reporters today. For your Union side here, you have Gene from the Hamptons Legion, whereas on the CSA side, you have Cloud from the Army of Northern Virginia. Co-commentating with me is GameBot. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello again.
He's saying hello again because we were recording. We got the first part of this. My mouse started jittering across the screen because too many stuff was going on. I still had Photoshop running when I was recording, which maybe isn't a good idea. I don't know why it was running. I unplugged my mouse from my PC, plugged it back in, and everything went black and crashed. So, anyways, we're back. How the beginning of this round has gone is Union pushed up through this woods here. They were able to push CSA out. It was very beautiful, but CSA counterattacked and kind of pushed them back. Looks like CSA's taking that ticket lead. Anyways, looks like Union's going in for another attack.
Yeah, so far we have seen a very beautifully executed attack. Slow push and steady when there was still no bayonets allowed. In the first, 12 minutes of the game,
Yep.
By the Union on their left flank, they pushed up beautifully, textbook style. And they did a really good job with it and actually captured that flank. And then just before the recording, the CSA pulls it around, countercharges, wipes LFL, wipes 11th Mississippi, and retakes that position.
It was, at least what we were watching so far, it was very well coordinated round. If anything, it was a mistake from CSA because Union was able to push up on this CSA right through this kind of wood line over here, and CSA didn't have enough guys to defend. They had a lot of guys on the CSA left, and since then they've obviously moved more over, but now Union is making a big push up the center of the map, something you wouldn't expect on this.
Especially 20th Georgia has pulled off the Union right flank from the cornfield and now pulled into the center as well.
Yep.
So they've even reinforced that push. But that artillery hit did take out quite a few people there. And the CSA, as you mentioned earlier, before the crash, CSA has buckenball. So that close range fighting, packed real nice and tidy on that point by the Union. That's not going to end well for them with a bit more time. So they're doing the right thing and spreading out along the fences, the hill, the tiny little hill there and stuff. They are doing the right thing. So.
Yeah, speaking of that, CSA has 1st Louisiana with the Mississippi, and they have the 1st Texas with the Buck and Ball, Springfield 42, and the Springfield 55. Whereas Union, they have the 9th New York with the Springfield 61, and the 6th Wisconsin with the Lorenz and the 61. So, yeah, no, I guess that CSA counterattack looked good because right before I crashed, tickets were roughly even, but now CSA's kind of taking a huge lead, and yeah, to your point, that buck and ball at this shorter to medium range is going to help CSA a lot.
Especially since the CSA consolidated in a nice arc, nice round arc in a defense line around the point. Everybody pulled off from the flanks and just concentrated on the middle, whittled down the Union, and now the Union is running out of reinforcements. So it does appear that the Union is getting pushed back from the advance in the middle.
Yeah, A&V's pushing up center side.
Finishing off the remnants there, or trying to at least. There's still a lot of people remaining.
Oh shit, they're charging.
Oh, Union flag just yeeted itself. 2 Union flags down. They need to get at least it out. It looks like A&V's going to win that. 11 Mississippi and HG
Yeah.
still kind of holding at least a little right of where A and V is.
That buckenball hurt.
It
That
definitely
really
did.
hurt.
Texas guards are at least engaging on the other side of this little hill, but 11 Mississippi and HG gotta watch their back. CSA any second now could roll up on that flank and get beautiful shots on them.
You got beautiful shots on their flag.
Texas Guard and 11th Mississippi fighting over that top hill. Yeah, you're right. As soon as A&V moves up a bit, or second corps moves up from that corner, 11th Mississippi is gonna... Ooh, they're gonna feel it.
They're getting the reloads in for now. You have some Union flanking where A and V is currently at. That is LFL. Looks like they didn't go in, but they're trying to at least safeguard these Union flags. And there goes 11 Mississippi and HD.
Ah, good job by the CSA again. Beautiful defended. But before the crash, you said it earlier, like the tickets, like before the Union charged in and actually wiped out the CSA right hand side, the tickets were even. And then the big counterattack from the CSA actually pulled it really heavily back into the CSA favors by roughly half a ticket stage. And now they're still half a ticket stage up, even though Union did a really coordinated attack in the center again. Just a bit too bunched up for it being really effective and survivable against the buckenball that the CSA is wielding with how many people roughly? More 70 people?
Jeez, yeah, that's... And you wonder why certain maps get more defender bias as the server pop increases.
Yeah, no, I don't. I am very much aware of that. And it sucks to go up against buckenball. It's a terrible experience. Especially if 70 people fire 4 rounds each. Oh man.
Yeah. Anyways, 11
That's
Mississippi,
280 rounds flying your way.
11 Mississippi trying to push up the pressure again. The unfortunate part for Union is that CSA is now, I think, kind of realizing what Union's doing by going down their right/center. And so CSA has a lot more guys over here, and it's probably going to be a lot more difficult for Union to break through. Because Union doesn't have that great of guns, even though they do have a slight ticket advantage in terms of how many tickets they have. CSA has very good guns, and it's not like these are great attacking spots. They're great defensive spots. And so this is going to be very difficult for Union to break through. For all we know, they could just try to sit and shoot down for the CSA for the next 15 minutes, but I don't know if they have the time since they need to hit them in the breaking to cap and win. Maybe they should try an early cap, but the whole CSA team is just sitting on the point.
Not the whole. The 6th Alabama pushed up on the CSA right-hand side and charged the 11th Mississippi.
It's a great
They
success.
did lose.
It's a great success.
They did lose, but they did take quite a few people down. Only like 10 remaining. JBs coming in, fresh loads, fresh bayonets. It does not appear that they are able to turn the tide.
Yeah, well, Mississippi has a flag, though.
Yeah, 13th Georgia are still there holding it. Those few people in quotation marks, that's still like 15 men. And good men holding that flank with a depleted 11th Mississippi. They're not going to be able to push that.
80th New York is pushing up CSA center. The whole Union team looks to be shifting down CSA right, which I'm still kind of surprised that there's a lot of CSA kind of in the center of the map. I'm shocked they don't. I mean, Texas Guards is shifting that way. Maybe 2 Corps. Poor CSA is going to move over, but CSA's got to group up here before Union defeats in detail, assuming Union does a nice little charge here, which I don't know if they're going to charge right away. They aren't yet.
Yeah, and the further they delay, the more of 6 Alabama will respawn, and that's another 12 people or so that are gonna be there with buckenball. So another 48 rounds coming their way, if they all fire. So if they wanna attack, now's the time. But to CSA credit, they have a nice defense in depth. Nice hefty front line, soak up all the incoming defense, the incoming attack. 2nd Corps on the central road there, and then on the right hand flank we have TG holding that little hill with the rocks there. And at the same time we have the 88th all the way up there. They are now pushing down, and they have some nice long range 41s which will be able to pick off the Union really easily. That's gonna be glorious.
Yeah, the only concern I have for CSA is that if CSA doesn't react quickly and move in to reinforce their friendlies, Union could defeat them in detail, which Texas Guard's moving up pretty quick. A&V holding the bulk of that, now starting to countercharge the Union line. 88th and 2 Corps sitting back shooting.
Still CSA there holding that time flank. They have not charged in. SB and 2nd Corps and TG members have not charged in. They are just shooting it out for now. Smart move with the button ball. Nice and tight, lined up into LFL in 20th Georgia. And I think the CSA will hold it.
Yeah, they should be fine. Yeah, no, Union's kind of getting beat back. Union didn't push their flags up too far, wanting to make sure they don't lose them in case that charge didn't go well. And
Which is a smart move. Union spawn is like 2 minutes foot march away. It's horrible.
Yeah.
Last time I played this map I was in the Union, so I speak of experience. You need like 2 minutes to get to either flank. That spawn needs to be moved up a lot.
Yeah, you bring your flags forward if you want to take ground, which Union still has a little time to mess around where they don't need to totally take CSA ground. Obviously, you'd like to. They did throw CSA off that, at least that snake fence kind of area. CSA still holding that right, kind of in a big line, shooting them from many different directions.
Yeah, they are not making a lot of headway. And as soon as CSA has amassed more men, I imagine they will try to take back that fence line at least.
I would not.
And looking by the numbers, it might be possible. If they just push to the fence line, Union charges in, right into that button ball, I think CSA would win that.
Yeah, sorry. I meant to say I wouldn't be surprised if I see that. Yeah, no.
There we go, 13th Georgia's pushing up already.
Yeah. Union... You almost wonder, 11 minutes left, CSA's not even taking losses. Is Union going to have enough time?
It's gonna be... They have to cap. As well as Hexa, who just ramboed a bit and shot... who's in charge of the 13th? Rollo, I believe, tonight?
Rollo, probably.
Oh. Yeah, it was Rollo who got ramboed. Ah, poor Rollo.
Justice for Rollo. So, Union's got to pick up the pace. As you mentioned, they should cap. They need to stop that timer from going down. The issue is that they got to go through the whole CSA team. And the odds of that are not very high.
Very slim.
Yeah, LFL's pushing up, though.
11th Mississippi is going around the flank. More towards the center line, trying to engage the 88th.
Texas Guards. I don't know what regiment they're playing in this game, but they have very nice uniforms. Like the tan color.
I think that's the first Texas.
Ah, well, look at that.
Because the Zouaves have their little pajama pants.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So, Texas Guards hold that. A lot of Union going right at 13th, though, and 13th is no more, losing a flag in the process. CSA still not in taking losses. Less than 10 minutes.
A&V's coming in, though. I think A&V is gonna wipe them. Yeah, that's too much manpower for the Union, who have depleted their shots to hold. Even 2nd US Cavalry, they will not be able to hold that. But their flag makes it out. The Union flag is safe.
You know, it's something you don't see too often. So, well done for Union at least keeping the flags out when they brought it forward. You have some Union pressuring the 88th in the center, that being 11th Mississippi and HG, but I don't know if they realize that at least TKO is behind them. Oh, they're about to get a volley. Let's see how many they hit. They hit one.
A few. No, I think I saw two.
Oh, okay. That's double what I said.
Hey, credit where credit is due. They hit 2 people.
They hit 2 people. They'll only respawn in like 10
Which
seconds.
is a shame. They have the more accurate rifle with the 41. Yeah. Beautiful gun in the game. Especially with the sword bayonet. 11th Mississippi has not turned around yet.
I mean, if only 2 or so. Hey, I don't know if they hit anyone in that volley, but I don't know if they notice. Yeah, they definitely don't notice them because they're focused on the guys in front, but... Oh my goodness.
They're just getting sandwiched. People dropping. Ooh, not looking good for the 11th.
Yeah. I like the Union aggression that they've done so far in this round. You got to be aggressive if you're attacking at some point, but you cannot lose in terms of tickets on this map, even by a slight amount if you're the attackers. There's no margin for error as an attacker on this map. And
No, really not. And to their credit, the CSA is playing it very nicely in the defense, taking their chances to take back ground where they can, while not losing too many men. So it is a tough battle for the Union. But here we go. I think LFL is attacking on the right-hand flank. CSA right-hand flank again.
TKO's trying to hit behind that whole Union blob. That's a...
Oh, yeah.
We'll see how that works. I don't know if they're going to sit and shoot or they're trying to pincer them, but...
That was, yeah.
Second US is about to find out.
We may want to.
Uh-oh, Axio smiles. Oh, they're going to go right in, TKO.
And I don't think LFL is aware.
They should be able to hold.
They are pulling back and now they're running right into TKO.
They don't look prepared for a melee. TKO catching him off guard, getting a flag in the process. Union hit breaking. And TKO barely took any casualties. They're going to keep going.
Yep, and there's the A&V, 6 Alabama and A&V proper just laying into waste with an artillery shot right into the line of the 20th Georgia and the remnants of the Union there.
TKO.
Oh god. That was very well done by
what
the
a
CSA.
play. What a
and
play.
TKO.
20th, 2nd US Cav and some 20th Georgia guys are trying to counter push this.
And I think they're gonna succeed with only like 6 people alive.
That's
Especially since they got friendly fired for TKO.
It comes with the territory. But wow, that was honestly, that's probably the most beautiful flank I've seen probably so far this year.
Like there's a company rotating northwest.
Which doesn't say a lot, to be fair. It's only February.
That's true. I mean, how many events have I watched since the beginning of the year? I mean, I've watched a fair amount. I mean,
7, 8 for the EU, maybe. Like in terms of weeks.
Right. I mean, I watch what, 2 EU events and 4 NA events a week.
How can you stand so much for rights? I would go crazy right now.
No comment. Now that Europe trip I was mentioning to you about, it's like 2.5, 3 weeks, and so I've planned it out. I've planned it out. I'm still gonna post videos during that, which means I've got to record I think like 30 some public matches to cover the whole trip. It's gonna be beautiful, but
oh, you poor man. You are not getting paid enough for that.
no, we're fine. It's fun. So that's all that matters.
Yeah. I mean, spectating is actually a lot of fun. I've never done it before in a battle like this.
Is this your first time then?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm usually more of the boots on the ground guy. I mean, to be fair, I've been in 6 Alabama for nearly 7 years now. In a month it's gonna be 7 years.
What a short time.
1,500 hours nearly involved rights, 7 years of experience.
Put that on our
Basically
resume.
playing a lot of events most weekends. Sometimes taking a few events off, of course. I also have friends and like to go out occasionally. Can't sit alone at home the entire time.
Yeah, so
COVID was bad though, like COVID home. The amount of hours I put into games. Whew,
that's where
criminal.
that's when I got War of Rights, and I was in IVB for pretty much a year and a half active, and then went inactive because school was actually starting back up because COVID was done, and then started doing this.
Yeah,
Here we
I
are.
feel you. We had a very turbulent last year in 6 Alabama. Actually, one of our members died suddenly. He was only,
I'm
what was
sorry.
it, 28? Yeah, he had a medical condition and he passed away peacefully in his sleep. Luckily, and not in agony in the hospital or something.
That's good at least.
I like the guy. He was a bit of a handful sometimes, but I've known that guy for 6 years at that point. We played a lot together, so it was quite a big hit back then. It still is. I still miss him. And then, you know, on the happy news, our Major Jackin, de facto line leader at that point, he became a father.
Hey.
So he tapped out of all rights, understandably.
Right.
I would do the same thing. He's taking care of his girlfriend or fiance or maybe even wife in the meantime, and his kid. So I'm quite happy for them as well. And so it did fall over to me while watching that little attack by HL in the center there. I don't think they're going to be able to push the amount of 88 out of the center there, but
no,
they are trying.
This round's over. 3 minutes, you're not pushing them down to break in.
Yeah, 20th Georgia's going in, and I think 11th is going to come in as well. They're going to do one big attack in the center now. And then they have time for maybe one more attack.
Some of you are flanking the CSA and the wood line of CSA, right? But yeah, Bonsai down the middle.
Yeah, as soon as A and B's done with the second US, I think they're gonna pull it right into the middle over the open ground. Or they might pull it back and just play it defensively, knowing that the Union cannot sustain the casualties they are taking. So yeah. Beautiful attack though.
Actually, CSA bar is going down a little fast. Union's actually winning partially, at least from what I'm seeing.
They are not getting them into final, into breaking. They are not achieving that. Now with A and V coming in and the remnants on the right hand flank, nah, that's not happening.
They could early cap. And then
they could early cap, that's true.
They could try to hold it for 7 minutes, but I doubt that. Yeah, A and V's going in.
But they barely have reinforcements. That could be costly.
Yeah, 2 Union flags are down right now. Serpent's Brigades with A and V as well.
But all of them have button ball. And that tight packed Union formation.
Oh my goodness.
Union is taking a lot of casualties.
There's Artie. I don't know if they got much.
Didn't even team kill.
Oh,
I'm surprised by that.
TKO coming in the rear again. They are going to flank, and CSA is slightly losing this point, but obviously their main spawns are way closer than Union main spawns, so CSA will hold this. They surprisingly might almost go into breaking. Actually, with how many Union are left, they're probably not. But you know, it's always wild. The charges at the end of the game, the bars go down a lot more than what you think. It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy sometimes. But you can see A and V and Servants Brigade did the smart thing. They held in the fence line, used their button ball to whittle them down, waited until reinforcements came in, and now they're just wiping the remnants of the Union away. Union is losing at least 1 flag. They've lost 2. There's 3 flags. Only 1 is making it out.
Who is this man?
And I think that's it. Union is not going to be able to make it back.
Anyways, what are your thoughts for the round as a whole?
Union did an amazing push in the beginning. They sadly did get bogged down. CSA pulled up an amazing defense. That was a great round from both teams, I feel like. CSA does deserve the win. They played beautifully, but Union did try really hard to make it happen.
And you gotta play perfect as an attacker on this map. There's no margin for error, and as GameBot mentioned, CSA played pretty well. Sorry about the mouse issue. Maybe I need to get a different mouse. I don't know. That's something I need to look into. But that's the first time that actually happened, so it was kind of wild. Anyways, yeah, no. Really well played from CSA. Union, there's not a whole lot you can do on this map, and they were doing fine. It's just, I guess, that counter push that we missed dealt the finishing blow. But kind of a final statement on what you were mentioning earlier. It's kind of wild. Every person playing this is a person. They got their own life outside of all of this, and so it's a blessing to be with so many people every day. That's what makes this community so great, in my opinion. Obviously, there's a lot of drama and crap, but you get that wherever you go. But community is why I'm still here anyways, so.
Same for me, honestly, but as you noted, that was all human beings down there, and still, 2,200, 2,300 just died.
Anyways, we'll see you for round 2. And here we are with our second round on Conquest now, Limestone Bridge. So they went live at 42, and to my understanding, they can sprint and use bayonets off the rip, just because the maps are so big. You don't want to spend, the first something of the game, first how many minutes, where everyone's just kind of like double clicking around trying to get to the points that are 10 years away. But Limestone Bridge, CSA at C first. Union's going to get to B, and CSA will get to A. CSA has that advantage where they're close to 2 points. But anyways, server pop right now, it's 250. Inbalance is 2 to the CSA side. CSA has 15 on artillery, where Union actually has none. So that's a little fascinating that CSA has so much. I mean, we'll see what they do. But anyways, GameBot, what's your thoughts on strategy-wise for this map? Or just Conquest in general?
As far as I can see right now, I did not look at any of the strategies or so on. I'm just, you know, looking at the screen, kind of seeing what they are doing. I think Union is gonna go heavy for A. They have one unit down towards C. CSA has a lot more units down at C. They're gonna hold that. But Union might be able to attack A point center, technically. And I think that's the smart move to do for Union. They have a lot more cover to push up through that cornfield, and then that little foresty thingy with rocks and trees and so on, and a nice bit of cover in general there. While down there at C point, seems horrible to attack, in my opinion.
Actually, there was one match I watched where, because since you can like walk in the water and drown now, see what TKO's kind of doing underneath the bridge by going underneath it. See, some of the guys are. But Union went down underneath the bridge, walked underneath it, popped out the other side, charged through CSA flags, wiped them, and then took the point. It was beautiful.
Do not go out there.
Smart move, but I don't think that's gonna work much more often. People are aware of that trick now.
Yeah, and TKO.
Unfortunately for 11th Mississippi, they weren't aware of the TKO there, and 11th Mississippi got wiped to a man.
I don't think they were expecting
defense.
TKO to be there. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've seen any regiment kind of hold the line. What is that flag doing? I don't know if that was 11 Mississippi flag, but he just ran by himself right into the CSA line. That's a miscommunication. Center of the map, Union's charging CSA. A&V's trying to hold against LFL and 6 New York. Beautiful.
INV is losing that engagement. To be fair, there's a lot of Union right there.
Serpent's Brigade's trying to move up. Diesel trying to
Diesel.
Rip.
Oh, poor man.
And even though CSA at least is getting rolled over here, I mean, you could see for Conquest, those of you watching who don't know, you see the 3 points of contention, or flagpoles. CSA has 2 of them. And so CSA is going to deal a ticket drain on the Union. Now, if you're up by 1 flagpole, you're doing 1 flagpole's width. If you're up by 2, you're doing 2 flagpole's width. But since Union has 1, they cancel at least one of those capped flags. So CSA is only doing 1 flagpole's width. So, in my opinion, for Conquest in general, you fight over 2 points, and then the 3rd point that you don't want to fight over, just send like 3 to 5 guys that way so they can act as a harassing force and decap. Because if anything, that'll draw your opponent away from the 2 points to have some guys sit back there, or it might force them to overreact. So,
yeah, so far Union did have the advantage in the center with A&V being wiped there at the cornfield, but they're not pressing it, and that's a huge mistake on their part. They should have kept pushing into that forest immediately. To their credit, they didn't know that there was very little defense there, of course, on the A point. But now the CSA had time to pull up units from C and reinforce the defense there with TG and 2nd Corps.
I know, I agree entirely. This game mode, especially when you're down flags, you cannot waste time. You cannot sit and shoot. You need to keep moving. And again, exactly to your point, Union just kind of sat back, not knowing that CSA didn't have a lot of guys. But even if you didn't know, you got to decap one of these points as soon as possible. But 2 Corps pushing up right on LFL alongside Texas Guards, and LFL is getting shot to crap, and they're falling back.
Beautifully played by the CSA, nice flank from the 2nd Corps guys there. They killed their French brethren, but I think that can be excused in this occasion. Overall, Union is too passive in the center. If they would have pushed up immediately, even with the losses they took, pushed up into that forest, established a base there, then it would have been really, really dangerous for the CSA. But now, A&V is coming back. They are gonna be at the A point before the Union, since they are gonna get delayed by 2nd Corps and or TG in that forest area. Including 13th Georgia, which has held the line gallantly so far. on the right-hand side of A. CSA right-hand side of A.
Yeah, HL's trying to go around flank here. But I don't get it, because that area where LFL just pushed up, 6 New York now pushed up there. So I don't know why 6 New York didn't go with LFL, because they were sticking with each other for the most part of this. But yeah, HL's flanking, at least on Union left, towards A. 20th Georgia's kind of heading up center. 6 New York is also a little more center right. LFL is holding back. And 11 Mississippi is trying to go back to their flag at C, which CSA is lightly defending, but Union's not pressuring it, so they don't need a whole lot of guys there.
Yeah, 6th Alabama has come back out of spawn and are now pressuring 6th New York on 2 sides, together with 13th Georgia and 2nd Corps. Where are they? Oh, they are engaging back down the forest.
Yeah, they're trying to push up, maybe get that CSA flag that's down. Those flags, when they drop, they have a 5-minute despawn timer on them.
LFL is slowly gathering strength, but they are pinned in place by 2nd Corps. They could push out of there, help the 6th New York. It's not our fault that you chose a fence to stand behind.
What did someone say?
It was a good comment from one of my lads. Because apparently one of 6 New York guys has complained that they are hiding behind the stone building which they cannot shoot through. No, the banter sometimes is just peak in this game.
It is. We'll catch a lot of that up here as well. The beauty of spectating. So 2 Corps kind of getting shot up, but LFL does pull back. Again, every second that goes by that Union is not trying to play the point. Sure, they're sitting and shooting, and you could call that playing the point, but they're just sitting and shooting, which sitting and shooting these days, especially with the flags respawning someone every 5 seconds, sitting and shooting doesn't do as much for you as you would want. So you got to be aggressive and start charging in here. Now, obviously, you don't want to charge into a bad spot, and that's hard to tell on the ground versus up here, but Union's got to get something moving. They're about to hit engage and be down 2/3 of morale stage.
CSA is playing a beautiful defense though. They are abusing Union's lack of aggressiveness in this map again.
Continue independent fire.
They are slowly taking ground, but they are taking it far too slowly.
It looks like 11 misses.
A and TG is now there. A and V is back in some capacity. 13th Georgia is back up to full strength as well. 2nd Corps has pulled out of the forest, now reinforcing the A point as well. And you cannot forget, at least the bottom units have Buckenball again on the CSA side. That close fence fighting there from 6 New York, they paid dearly for that. Look at all those bodies there, where 6 New York held that corner.
I unfortunately have bodies turned off. I only see 2.
I'll count them for you, give me a second.
6 New York shifting a little closer to where 20th is. They're trying to sit and shoot the CSA. The thing is that, oh, looks like you got LFL over here as well. So Union getting closer and closer to A. LFL might be going for it. You'll see teams dive bomb the point a lot, trying to get to it and decap it. An issue though is that if you dive bomb a point and you don't kill the guys around it, they'll just shoot you down the crap, and then once you decap or are weak, they'll charge you and you'll probably get wiped. But 2nd US Cav over here as well, 20th Georgia and LFL moving out in Union, or in unison. And Union does have the manpower to, I think, hold a CSA charge and force this decap.
Yeah, I counted, by the way, 24 bodies, but I only have a medium count on, so there's probably gonna be more. At the same time, I do not understand how Union missed TG on that wall and ignored them completely and went for the remnants of 6L behind that check. Now 2nd Corps pulling out, reinforcing 6L there, holding the 6 New York back on the fence so they cannot push up.
Texas Guards gets pushed off by LFL. 20th Georgia on the decap, and they're gonna get it. I think that's a big part, as well as that CSA is not sending a 3 to 5 man group towards the Union point of B, which, mind you, not that they would know, but it is wide open right now. And especially an event where there's no Steam chat, if CSA sent 3 to 5 guys and forced a decap at B, Union would have a very high chance of overreacting and sending too many guys back to try to raise it back up, and that would relieve a lot of the pressure that you see on A right now. Which CSA is countercharging. A and B.
Successfully so.
Yep. But at least
now 11th Mississippi is coming in to reinforce the 2nd US. LFL and 6 New York still holding on that fence line.
Well, at least for the moment, Union's not losing anything to the flag rate because they did decap, but...
Yeah, but CSA is taking heavy casualties up front that they have to pull back, but pulling back will get them shot very heavily as well. Why is one of the A and V guys called rank and name? Was he too stupid to actually put his rank and name in there? God almighty, these recruits nowadays.
Back in my day. Oh, Cloud is...
Yeah, back in my day, we recruited off the company tool. We actually needed some brain cells to navigate that piece of shit.
Yes, that they're spending so much of their time remaking. Praise be.
You know, apparently it's coming along well, and it apparently is not bad so far from what I've heard from sources.
If they can help balance the maps, I am all for it. But...
You know, the one thing this game is missing, the one big thing, map editor. A simple map editor for the community to balance out stuff, maybe change some boundaries, some spawns, some points, something like that, make it a bit more even. That is really missing. And that would make the game, it would kick the game up 2 notches at least.
It is a little surprising that they mentioned the map editor because people have offered to help make maps and among other things, and the devs have said no in the past. Maybe it's the individuals who asked, I don't know, but... Anyways, Union's pushing up, LFL's trying to apply a little more pressure. You can see Union trying to at least kill the CSA before pushing in on that A point, which is a good idea. Especially since it's neutralized, it's not the worst thing in the world for Union to be a little more patient. Union still has plenty of time. Also, LFL's really bunched up. on that one little V on the fence.
Union saw the push by A and V, trying to get into the flank. 6 New Yorkers answering that. That's going to be a good fight in the forest there in a second.
Yeah, this will be an important charge here.
Oh, 6 New York felt the buck and ball.
They don't have bayonets on.
What?
20th Georgia, some of the... I was looking at that charge. A lot of the Union guys did not have bayonets on.
Like, I don't understand that part. Why wouldn't you have a bayonet on when you know it's a close combat area?
What?
Especially since what we drilled into our guys in 6L is bayonets first and reload whenever you spawn.
Yeah.
So at least you're ready for a fight, even if it's only melee.
Step up to the bags. Step up to the bag.
I don't... Well, this charge from 2nd US Cav will try to do some damage, but it's not going to do a lot. 2nd US Cav went in, and they get wiped. Meanwhile, LFL pulled off completely, and CSA is going to retake A. Wow.
Hubertius saved the flag so far. What a hero for the Union.
Who's next?
Eddie's still alive. How?
Alright, Eddie, we gotta go.
Now he's got to die. He cannot survive that.
Oh. Honestly, it might be better for CSA, because if he doesn't have his pistol shots...
To be fair, but they could kill Eddie.
They could, and they didn't.
Oh, they dropped the flag with a distance shot. Oh, good shooting there.
I guess Eddie has plot armor then. Oh,
there he goes.
Rip.
He made it so far. No.
So, CSA get A back. Union down 2 flags by the CSA line. 11 Mississippi's had a fine day here at the C point, engaged with 88th and TKO, who 11 Mississippi might be a little outnumbered there, but 11 Mississippi backing off. Seriously, imagine if CS is doing very well so far. Obviously, they get a huge advantage. I don't know if Union has buck and ball. Odds say CSA does have it, and odds say Union doesn't have buck and ball just because the regiments for each side is random, and CSA has more buck and ball regiments in this game than Union. So the odds they get are very higher. But this map has been very favorable to CSA to start, and CSA's executed on it very well. Imagine if they set 3 to 5 guys to B. Oh, man.
Yeah, but I think on that buck and ball, I think both CSA regiments get buck and ball. I saw it on 6th Alabama, which are the bottom regiment, and I just looked at 13th Georgia, and they seem to have also buck and ball, and they're on the top part.
See, there needs to be an admin setting to, like, make Conquest fair in a sense, where, like, each side both has buck and ball or doesn't, or something of that nature. Because buck and ball is a complete game changer for if you win or not.
In close combat fights, yes. And up to around about 100 yards, in my opinion. It's really, really deadly and effective. Beyond that, it's, you know, it's spread out. It is spreading out a lot more. It's a smooth ball after all. But it's still devastating.
And
On the counter argument, though, has the Union tried to be a little bit more poor? It's not the CSA fault, they had more money on the other side. And bought the rifles.
Watch your bails, watch your bails.
No, but Worf writes now.
In a game perspective, I totally agree.
In-
Buck and ball is busted, it should be 50-50 on either side. Maybe everybody should just have it in some maps. It would be a tremendous experience for both sides.
Everyone has buck and ball, jeez. But that's the thing.
Imagine
is that
downtown. Imagine downtown
Oh
or High
my
Street
goodness.
with only buck and ball.
CSA has a hard time enough. But the thing is that you mentioned that buck and ball is very good at close range, not that great far range. War of Rights comes down to the charges, especially because shootouts don't mean much anymore from what I've seen. I'll rarely see a team being able to shoot out, especially in Conquest, when you fight over an individual flagpole, there's a lot of close engagements that decide the game. And so, but, oh well.
Yeah, 100% agree on that. But it also comes down a bit to the developers. They shadow changed the rifles, made them more inaccurate. Rifles used to be a lot more accurate back in the day.
That's what I've heard.
And if they would not have changed it that dramatically, you know, long-range shooting would actually mean something again. And long-range shooting would actually be a lot more effective. You know, it doesn't need to be effective out to 300 yards. But like 150 yards or something, 200, it should still be effective and able to hit a 3-man target, at least one of the men.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. The changes over the past few years have been to the detriment. I mean, you get people spawning back in at a quicker rate, so you can't shoot someone out of a position as easily. You go from 5-second or 10-second respawns to 5 seconds, so everyone... I just said that twice in a row. Anyways, alongside that flag change, they added... or they made it so that each death was worth 20% less tickets, because there was more people dying, which in a shootout from long distance, generally people aren't dying as much, so that really degrades that. And so it just encourages more charging to happen. More brain rot, if you want to call it that.
I mean, charging has always been an elemental part of the game. Always. In the last 7 years at least I played, and that's 7 out of 8, so I think I can speak a bit of experience.
But I definitely think it's more important than that. It's the most important it's ever been.
Especially with these new modes, Conquest and Contention.
Yep.
100%. On the more traditional Antietam skirmish maps, a little bit less so.
So, trying to think how to word this. What is your opinion of the server pop increases, especially for a lot of the smaller maps? Because, like, for example, like Progress Mill and whatnot, I mean, or downtown, for example, right? You get, or really all of Harper's Ferry for the most part. You get, what, up to 400 player servers crammed on these tiny maps?
Yeah, back in the day when it was 75 versus 75, you had a 15-man unit. You could turn the tide of battle with that 15-man unit if you did smart moves. Now, a 15-man unit on a 150-man server side,
That's hilarious.
you're barely 10%. You're not changing a whole lot of the outcome of the game anymore. So, I think map needs to get wider, map needs to get bigger, especially if they up the server capacity at some point to, what did they say, 500 or something?
They said they want to keep going until they can't. Not what that is.
So 500 most likely.
Yeah. I mean, we know we have 400 already.
Yeah, and I think 500 will also be possible after that. The game will take a hit unless they completely recode it, which I doubt they have the resources to do.
Is it you? But I'm zoomed out here, and it looks like Union's just non-existent on this map.
I had the same feeling for the last 2-3 minutes now. Like they are on the bottom part towards the sea point. I think there's two regiments there. Then we have one in the cornfield that got pushed back by the combined force of A and V and who else is in the center? SB and 2nd Corps F. They pushed back LFL, I think it was, and now Union is slowly attacking with the 11th Mississippi back on the right-hand side of the center. But they are being met by, what is it, 13th and TG, yeah.
And that artillery. Oh my goodness, the artillery hit the tree in front of 11 Mississippi and didn't knock down anybody or kill anybody. That's kind of crazy. 11 Mississippi should thank that tree.
God's strongest tree.
So.
Yeah, but no, the game needs work, especially if you've ever noticed. If a big update is coming around, you have to download 10 gigabytes.
That's
and
true.
10 gigabytes is the entire game.
Left and right.
Should be like,
When a
you know,
big update drops, you have to re-download the entire game, basically.
do you know the game Clash Royale? Have you heard of that before? It's a mobile game.
I heard of it, I've never played it.
Alright, so you make a deck of 8 cards, and then you play the cards. Your objective is to destroy your opponent's tower. Each month, they do balance updates for all the cards. They tweak everything to try to make it more balanced with whatever the meta is. War of Rights should have something similar, I think, with the tickets on the maps. I don't know how often devs pay attention to how many teams win stuff. It's not like they have the data to track that either. That's what they want to do with the new company tool, is track all the rounds played and then adjust maps accordingly. But I think they should do something like that. Anyways, at sea, LFL's trying to put some pressure, but 88th in New York and TKO got that I'm lost down. CSA has not even hit engaged yet. This is like the same thing as last year.
That's crazy. And at the same time, 11th Mississippi got pushed back. They had a huge artillery explosion there. There's a lot of blood on the ground. The fence is destroyed. And then a lot more bodies that have been shot. So they got pushed out by the combined forces of TG, 13th Georgia, and all the artillery crews. So TG and probably HD have been firing at them quite aggressively.
LFL got pushed back as well. This is the problem is now is that CSA, rightly so, is playing an ultra defensive game. You're up a point. You don't need to necessarily send a full force to that 3rd point. The Union's trying to attack across the whole width of the map, and so they're so thinned out. And CSA is bunched up in these 2 areas. They gotta go as a team. We saw they had a huge chance earlier and they couldn't execute on it.
Yep, and now 11th Mississippi is probably gonna get wiped. There's a lot of reinforcements coming up to SB in form of A and V. I would get the flag out on 11th position. They only have 4 or 5 men now. And there's a lot of hate flying down that cornfield.
What is going on?
And the flag is down.
Dress left to me, dress left. Dress left. 55.
What is happening on that sea flank over here? NYV is holding in the woods, shooting volleys. So is LFL. Not being able to push off 88th or TKO.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going up there and getting shot. It's a strong position. It's a really strong spot.
Yeah, it's super hard to attack for the Union. They would need a really hard center presence and then come down maybe the road behind them.
Well,
So they can run down towards the river bank, down the road basically, and come from behind. You wouldn't be able to... Yeah, you would be able to see them a bit, but not for long with the forest there. Then just quick sprint down to the riverbed. If the Union managed to do that, they could charge through the riverbed right into their back and cap C off their backs. But I do not think that is likely with A and V in second core holding down the center, including SB, of course. Don't want to forget anyone. And then we have the other flank with 13th Georgia and TG holding strong as well over the open ground where the Union cannot sneak up on. It's a tough map for the Union.
Indeed it
Their
is.
best chance is definitely amass all forces they have behind the cornfield, run through that cornfield like heck, charge A and V out, take that forest as fast as you can, leave some people with the flags behind the forest, and head to A point, capture it, and reinforce it and defend it.
That definitely sounds like something, though, you'd have to plan beforehand at this point of the round with Union as spread out as they are. I mean, they're kind of gathering up near C, but that's going to be difficult to pull off. CSA do finally hit engaged. You know what I think would be another quality of life improvement is I think if you hold down the console command button, so if you hit tilde, you'll see all the console stuff. I'm pretty sure at the end of a conquest round, at least I used to do this like once or twice a while ago when the game mode first came out, but it'll tell you how many tickets were lost via the flag. That would be a nice thing to see at the end of the game, is how many tickets you lost to combat-related deaths or the flag ticket loss. That'd be a little nice thing to see.
Yeah, indeed. And you know, back in the day, you could actually see if you shot somebody in the console.
What's that, bud?
It would light up like a team kill marker in the bottom left corner in the text chat, you know?
If you killed someone?
Yeah.
What?
Guy so-and-so has been killed by you, or well, your name would be standing there. Has been shot with melee ball, like a melee ball in brackets. And the damage modifier that melee ball had back then, which was 533, I believe, from the top of my head.
Wow.
So, you know, a normal model, or a normal player model, has 100 HP.
Yeah.
Melee ball usually 5 times the amount of damage needed to kill somebody. The devs really did make sure to kill someone with melee ball.
You got some CSA 6 Alabama.
Yeah, flanking into the forest. Max is bored, I presume.
This is an idea. I assume they're just gonna skirmish. If they did charge in, that'd be kind of funny. I mean,
they would have charged by now.
They have the tickets to burn.
They do indeed. And putting more pressure on the Union is not a bad thing. Especially 6 Alabama, 10, 12 people right now. They will be missed in the defense. But I don't think they are necessary.
Union's bonds and oh my god, who did it? Who did it? Who did it?
Oh god.
I love you. Who is
TG,
it?
second core F.
Yeah. Beautiful decision.
Well done.
So that ticket rate's going to be worse, but Union, in a sense, mentioned earlier, they're massing up and going at C. They 100% outnumber the CSA defenders.
And 11th Mississippi is getting engaged by second core there while trying to get back to the flagpole. I doubt second corps will be able to win this by sheer numbers, unless 11th Mississippi decides not to fight and just keeps walking. Interesting tactic.
The server announcement just said 2 core you cannot neutralize a flag with only 3 guys. Is that a rule?
I don't know, man. Like, technically, 3 people is in line and you would technically be allowed to fire since you're no longer ramboing. I presume.
Texas Guards charging at C as well. They lost. Union do decap C.
Nice.
Looks like, I think, 6 Alabama is going in the side of Union, but they are very much outnumbered. Let me look in the rule set here.
Yeah, if 6 Alabama is smart, which I hope they are in this very moment.
I hope
they
my guys
just
are smart.
They just hold at that stone wall. They have perfect cover and just shoot them down at that fence and make life hard for them to hold until CSA reinforcements come back from spawn.
So, Union for the first time today is going to have 2 of the flags.
Yeah, it only took them 32 minutes.
I don't know if they have enough time to catch back up. I mean, it's almost 2 morale stage difference at this point. Now,
CSA will not let that stand. CSA will push down there towards C and try to get back C. I think A and C point has been marked by CSA as that is ours, and we will not let it go.
Let's see where CSA move out, at least from Maine. We have a couple.
They are heading
towards
towards C.
But yeah, as mentioned, TKO and Texas Guards are heading back there. They were just wiped there as well.
6 Alabama pretty much take no casualties so far as I can tell.
Let's see. In Conquest, skirmishers either within the first option or detached as part of the second option. I don't know. Oh. There's options to determine what skirmishers are. Okay. Anyways, skirmishers either with the first option or detached as part of the second option are not allowed to neutralize or capture flag positions. They may hold the ground surrounding the flag. Okay. I mean, 2 Corps was, at least from what I remember, 2 Corps was nearly all there, but they sent a couple guys off because they wanted to hold a fence position. At least that's what I saw. I don't know if 2 Corps was designated or the guys there were skirmishers. I don't know. But
I would argue that's around 75 yards. Now, I'm not very good with the Imperial metric system.
let's see.
But I would estimate roughly 50 to 75 yards between the road and the flagpole, so
This is what the allocation of skirmishers will take one of 2 routes. The first option, all units under 10 men may form as skirmishers at any point during the battle. And the second option is 1 unit up to and including a strength of 15 men will be permitted to skirmish at any point during the battle. Should their number exceed 15, they are no longer permitted to act as skirmishers, but they can attach a group of 5 guys as skirmishers. Let's see. Skirmishers are permitted... So it looks like a team can decide what option is a skirmisher group.
Just keep shooting, guys.
I don't know.
Keep it down.
That's how I'm kind of interpreting it. Regardless, oh well. If you want to read
they will hear about it in the debrief,
yeah,
I presume.
We'll live stream that too. Get some juicy content.
You can do that?
There's
Oh, a few LFL reinforcements walking out of spawn, walking into 6L, getting summary executed. Ooh, ouchie.
Yeah, CSC is kind of surrounding the C point. I mean, at this point in the round, I don't think CSA will drop into breaking even if Union's up by 1 flag. I don't know.
Nah. I think they're gonna go a quarter into taking losses.
Yeah, you're right there. So it's as long as CSA doesn't lose A, which Union is, they're pushing up slowly. At least one group is, but they are fairly outnumbered. It's 11 Mississippi who is over there, but A and V and 13th Georgia are kind of pincering them right now. A and V is actually going right in.
And an artillery shell landing right in there. Oof.
Mississippi retreating, but. Flores trying to protect his men. A and V just doesn't care about him. Rep Flores. Oh. Well, Flores is actually getting a fair amount of kills there. He's going to call in a kill streak any second.
Hold at the corner.
Wow.
The 6 Alabama remnants down on that wall only have taken around 50% casualties in that entire engagement duration. And they've been shooting against LFL. Man, Forest and Stonewall is a nice combo, but now the fight for C starts happening. TKO going into the 6th New York. 6th New York holding though, very effectively. That's the 2nd Corps F, guys.
Wow,
they should have went together.
Yep. It's the little things.
And 88th got shot up a bit in the beginning. If they would have been at full strength and also able to push in, I think that would have taken a worse turn for the Union than it has right now. They still got both their flags up. They can consolidate on the bridge, be behind stone walls. It's gonna be an interesting fight there still.
I wish there was a contention mode, but it was, or conquest, where there's only 1 flag and it's in the center of the Burnsides Bridge. And Union spawns at one side of the bridge, CSA spawns on the other side of the bridge. That would be chaotic.
Yeah,
That probably
while
not
the
that fun,
ANV is coming down to the center.
but CSA artillery is being charged out for like the 5th time today.
Yeah, I know. I'm on the CSA side. I get the nice little pop-up the entire time.
I know it's beautiful. I'm gonna switch sides.
I'm this case on. Stay here.
Just if you hit escape, hit spawn, select Union, and then hit the spectate button on the bottom left again. That pop-up shouldn't show up anymore.
Oh, I have 5 minutes. I'm not concerned about that anymore.
But
Yeah.
this
Apparently 6 Alabama still has people back there. What the hell?
charging up top at least by CSARD. Texas Guards charging it on 20th Georgia. But yeah, no, CSA will have taken losses. But this round has been over from pretty much, it's been over since halfway point. Wow.
Second US finally going in on the 6 Alabama remnants there on that stone wall. And they are winning. Finally, the thorn in the Union side back there has been pushed out.
You heard it here. GameBot wants his own regiment to die. You heard it here first.
I'm the #1 reason of death in 6 Alabama.
Oh my goodness. Oscar just stabbed his new volunteer, Harold, after the charge in the woods on 6 Alabama. That's a true War of Rights moment right there. The charge is clearly over. You just have oh, more CSA charging in at sea.
That's the remnants of ANV. Remnants, I say, the main body of ANV. But they are outnumbered by a lot.
Also charging
With
across the wide
LFL
open
and 6 New York there on that bridge.
And the rest of CSA back off with the flag. Oh, who's that round? Max getting out of there.
Yeah, he just won the flag, I presume. Because he died on that wall over there.
Well,
yeah. I think the Union has dug into that bridge and they're not giving it up.
Union, as we talked about when Union took C, Union isn't going to be able to catch back up. They didn't have enough time, so I don't know why they're not trying to go for A. If they went for A, they'd probably lose C, but that's really besides the point. You're going to lose if you just sit here the whole time, as we see they're doing now. Here comes more CSA.
Yeah, if they would have consolidated 11th Mississippi, LFL, and, I don't know, 20th Georgia and 2nd US in the center, and then pushed it, and leave HL and 6 New York on the flanks, they would probably have had a chance to take all 3 flags.
Yeah, and I mean, even if you decap A for a little bit, or if you cap it and have all 3 flags and don't win on the counterattack, I mean, you're dealing 2 or 3 flagpoles worth of damage, and I mean, you can see almost a whole morale stage drop if 3 flags are captured for like 2.5 minutes. So
yeah, it's crazy. But I don't think they have a chance now. It's only 2 minutes left. ANV is holding the center force there. Even if they want to push up from C, it's not gonna go well down for them with all the Buckenwall on that forest. And they are getting reinforced by 2nd Corps F as well. So I don't think the CSA will give up A under any circumstances. But as I mentioned earlier, now Union is pushing down. Just the other way around. I said from the top to the bottom. Now they're going from the bottom to the top, going through that riverside, up to the road, and then up towards the forest and A point.
Well, Mississippi charge up top on CSARD, but lose. 1.5 minutes left. Yeah, as Union kind of circles around here. 2nd US Cav and some 6 New York guys. CSA is running across the open field. Some are going to C.
Yeah, okay. Big attack from the CSA on C.
I appreciate
while the Union has pulled off.
Yeah, Union pulled off. They should have done that 10 minutes ago.
On the left, on the left.
Left, boys,
I mean, it doesn't matter anymore, but...
And Union is in last stand. Yep, that is the final nail in the coffin.
Anyways, GameBot, what are your thoughts for this round?
I think Union had a real chance there when they pushed the A point. They would have needed to do it faster, quicker, and then held it more decisively. Do not give the CSA the breathing room to come back. After that, they did a good attack on C, but overall they were too hesitant. And CSA pulled a mobile defense, kept moving, kept getting into spots, kept getting on the flanks of the Union, and did win fair and square this match, in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, Union's actually winning at A. Wow. Union actually held at
With
C2.
10 seconds.
Man, if they would have done this 10 minutes ago, oh, that's unfortunate. But,
Yep.
oh well. Yeah, no, Union had a chance early on in the round. They weren't able to execute on it. They were too hesitant. And CSA was eventually able to hold that ground. They realized what Union were doing, going for the center. But, anyways, appreciate you coming on, GameBot. With that all being said,
My pleasure.
thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Sorry about my mouse causing a crash. You know, that's a new one. But appreciate you all. Hope you all enjoyed. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you want to support the channel more. We have a Patreon where you can get a live stream of all the broadcasts we do. You can advertise your regiment in the bottom of our videos and get an additional broadcast per week. Besides that, though, we have our Discord, merch, X, Instagram, TikTok. Those links in the description. Appreciate you all, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your night. See you in the next one.